So hi everyone, my name's Nick and I'm just going to take you through my first off-road experience on the Voge DS800X rally. This is down in St Just in West Cornwall. This is a ride from last Sunday when the weather finally kind of lifted for the day. So we start off going from Cape Cornwall up the side of Cape Cornwall golf course. It's a bit of a steep, like large gravel kind of track. Standard tyres, I think they're the Pirelli Scorpions. Standard road pressures. I'm a bit nervous, it's a new bike, so let's see how we go. So it starts off alright, but then the gravel quickly gets a little bit bigger. Bit nervous about dropping the bike at this point, so I'm taking it pretty slowly, and as you can see it doesn't take long for the back wheel to lose traction. Trying my best here, getting a bit nervous about dropping it, and yeah, losing all momentum basically until we finally come to a stop, and I think I stall it at this point, which is slightly embarrassing as there's walkers coming down. There's also the golfers on the left hand side, which are probably having quite a good laugh. Still going, and I think at this point I decide to try and put my feet down, because as I said, I'm very nervous about dropping the bike at this point, so I'm quite sure I can pick it up, but I probably could, but I don't really want to damage it on this rocky surface. So there we go, first stall. That's fine. We'll set off again. We use that rear brake, try and compress the rear to get a bit more traction, which works well. And off we go again, and
I'll wait for you.
There we go, we stalled it. And I think at this point there's a dog walker, so it's quite nice to have a bit of a breather, a bit of a rest. I'm not sure she was too impressed by my antics, but never mind, it is a legal byway. So right, finally compose myself, and off we go again. I think by this point I've lost all momentum, so I think I'm just going to wade my way up, feet down all the way. Probably for the first laying off-road, I've bitten off more than I can chew on the bike. I also have a CRF 250 Rally, a lot lighter, 10 psi in the rear tyre on that, and it would go up there no hassle, but like I said, first time on this one, so give it a go. So the next lane then is north of St Just, heading along the southwest coast path. It takes you end up at the National Trust Cafe at the Count House, which is really nice. Again, Sunday afternoon, so quite a few walkers out, so going quite slow. To be honest, still getting used to the bike as well. I find the throttle can be jerky at low speed, so there's quite a bit of clutch input going on, and as I said, first ride out, so just taking it easy, not going fast at all. You will notice I've messed up the camera angle. It's the GoPro's putting far too low on the chip mount, so not the best shots in the world for the entire video, but I can learn from that. This is a lovely little trail, really. It is easy. It's just gravel. It's absolutely fine, but so many walkers out. Just take it slow. I'm just enjoying the ride at this point. Bike is beautiful. It does ride lovely. I think I do need to play around with suspension settings. It does feel quite hard. It's also got steering damper. I mean, whether I need it at such low speed is debatable, but I'm going to have a play with that on future rides.
Thank you.
So really can't go too fast on this one. So as we get to the end of this lane, then we are coming up to the National Trust Cafe now. Again, you do have to take it easy around here. There are lots of people. Highly recommend the cafe. Great cakes, good coffee, nice place for a stop, and fantastic views, which you can kind of see, as I said, but the GoPro is the angle is a little bit low on that one. So the third section now, similar to the second section, to be honest, along the Southwest Coast Pass, goes from the cafe to Levant Mine. Beautiful views there. You get a view of all the engine houses. It's really stunning place to ride. If you're not familiar with the area, you kind of come down the coast road from St Ives, beautiful flowing tarmac road, before you get to this little sequence of byways. I've chosen to do it kind of south to north in this instance, but you really beautiful part of Cornwall. Stunning views. Not very technical terrain, but you know, for the first time taking a big bike off road, it's pretty easy, pretty relaxed. Very enjoyable Sunday afternoon. Highly recommend.
Thank you. Thank you.
So on to the last little section for the day then. This takes you up past the air traffic control station for RNAS Cold Rose. Just quite a short lane, nothing special here, but stunning views from up the top. You can see the North Coast, you can see the South Coast. Again, as with all these trails, you know, it's very popular with walkers. So on a Sunday afternoon, as I'm riding here, you do have to take it steady. but all the same makes for great afternoons. A little ride out. So first impressions then of the Voge DS800X rally. Got about 400 miles on the clock now, so hasn't had its first service yet. Still kind of on the running period for it, but I mean, it's a great bike. For a new bike, it's relatively what it is. It's good value for money. Plenty of low down torque, plenty of power. Like I said earlier, I think kind of second gear, low speed. The throttle can be jerky. Whether that's just a cable adjustment, you can be adjusted out at the first service. Probably mostly down to my experience, to be honest. I'm a relatively new rider, so that doesn't help. And just learning to feather that clutch, really. I think as my confidence grows, and maybe I gain a little bit more speed, a little bit more momentum, things will get easier for me. But yeah, very, very happy with the bike. The suspension settings, as they are at the moment, I haven't adjusted them, I haven't played with them, I haven't set a sag or anything like that. So it does feel slightly harsh. But I think that is adjustment-wise, so something for me to look at, have a little play with that, probably speak to some experts so I don't mess it up, because to be quite honest, I don't really know what I'm doing with it. But yeah, really, really happy with the bike. As I said, I do have a CRF 250 Rally. That was my first real bike, which I really enjoyed. It's really, it's a great little bike. I've done a couple of TRF weekends. I go off with a couple of the local trail groups around Cornwall on it, and that is a good bike. I have taken it on a few longer road rides, kind of 200-300 miles, and to be quite honest, I find it loud, uncomfortable, lacking power. Hence why I kind of looked at this. I do want to do some more longer trips, riding to Wales, riding out country, and then hitting the trails when I get there. And to be honest, after riding the CRF for 3 hours, I don't feel like I could ride off-road. It's quite an exhausting experience. Again, I suppose it's swings and roundabouts. 3-hour ride on this would be easy, really, really easy. But once you get off-road, it is a relatively heavy 800cc bike, so I am going to tire more quickly riding off-road. It isn't going to be able to do the technical trails, but I mean, it's a blast. It's great fun. So thanks for joining me. I think we'll leave it there for this video. I hope to post a few more videos. If you've got any constructive criticism about the quality of the videos, audio, etc., or things I can do better, then always happy to hear. Same goes for my riding. As I said, I'm quite new, so pop that in the comments and I'll happily listen. Anyway, cheers guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.